Hey guys, LC Fifa here, and with this 98 rated Gianluigi Buffon player review. This card's been released for an SBC as part of the Footies promo to recognise his time at Juventus, where he's played at for most of his career. There is a loan version of this card for around 10k to complete, and then there's the full version which costs around 150k, so overall for a 98 rated card, that's not too expensive. However, once you've done the SBC, the card is untradeable, so I decided to do this review to help anyone out who's thinking of completing the card. Anyway, as you can see on screen, this is the team I started him in, of course starting with Buffon in goal. Florenzi, Tonelli, Stones and Rose in defence, Henderson, Gay, Ali and Rashford in midfield, with Jesus and Son in strike. Buffon is 6'3", with the traditional save technique, he's right-footed and has a 2-star weak foot and 1-star skill moves. I use him with basic, glove and cat chemistry styles, and for me, he played the best with glove. So, moving into the in-game clips, I'll start with his positives. The first one being his diving. With his stat now being at 98, he plays a lot more like an acrobatic keeper. He has a great overall coverage of the goal, and he does great at stopping shots from going in. He gets behind most shots from all distances, and does his best to save the ball at full reach. As I've just mentioned his diving, I'll also quickly talk about his height here, as this for me contributes to his diving. At 6'3", Buffon isn't affected by his height in terms of reach. I find that some keepers 6'2" and smaller do struggle to reach more shots than other keepers, mainly those that aim towards the top and bottom corners, but this wasn't an issue for Buffon. Next is reflexes, which for me are the best thing about the card. You can tell he's had a boost in this stat because of the way he moves and transitions into the diving animation. Back in the old Fifas when I was bored, I used to play with the Classic 11 and go into the gameplay section, which allows you to boost everyone's stats individually. The way the goalkeeper used to play reminds me of how this Buffon card reacts to shots being really quick. I'm not saying that he saves every shot, but he does react to most shots entering the dive animation really fast. Because of this, he plays slightly better in one-on-ones when compared to his previous 96 card, as I noticed he made a few more decent saves when the attacker was inside the box. The next positive is his distribution. Although he doesn't have the long throw trait, his throwing was decent enough and he managed to reach the halfway line before dropping. However, his kicking was the best part of his distribution for me. Most of the time, if you want your keeper to kick the ball the furthest, you have to run into the kicking animation. With Buffon, you don't need to do this, even his standing kicks out of his hands can reach into your opponent's half. The final positive was his speed at 74. 74 speed on any goalkeeper is fast, but for Buffon cards this is something you don't usually see. He's quick enough to leave his line and either collect the ball from the attacker or dive down right in front of them, allowing him to make a block on the ball. Although he doesn't really have the instinctive ability to come out and collect the ball for himself, it can be decent at times, so I'd recommend doing this. Now onto the negatives, the first one being his positioning. Although it's rated at 99 on the card, I wouldn't consider it perfect. He's able to concede in the odd long shot at times, as he does stand a little too far off his line. This is more inconsistent rather than just straight up bad, but it's something that is out of your control. This is a bit disappointing because with it being 99 you really expect it to be perfect, and it actually should be. The next negative, and the most important one, was his handling. This was really poor in game and much worse than all his other cards for some reason, even though this stat is also rated at 99. I think the reason it's so bad is because of his boost in diving and reflexes, which makes him more likely to make some impressive saves, but because of this, his options to save the ball securely with both hands becomes less likely. However, what makes this even worse is the fact he doesn't push the ball behind or out wide most of the time, and he does open you up to conceding a lot of second chances. The last negative was his ability from corners. Now although he has great speed, his positioning and the fact he has the cautious with crosses trait really lets him down. Some crosses you expect him to come out and get, and even if you tell him to, it's like he doesn't know if he should, resulting in him being a bit delayed or not fully committing to collecting the ball from the air. So overall, I'm going to give 98 Buffon an 8 out of 10. I know this rating is worse than the one I gave him for his 96 card, but that's because he feels like a completely different goalkeeper. The negative I gave him for his 96 card was that he wasn't the best in one-on-ones, but for me this wasn't as much of an issue with his card. Instead, his handling, positioning and ability from crosses have got a lot worse, which doesn't really make sense, since this card is basically an upgraded version of that card and should actually perform better. Considering the fact that this card plays worse than his 96 and it's actually untradeable costing around 150k, I can't recommend completing him. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe. And to request any future content, please leave a comment in the comment section below and I'll be sure to reply.